Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing. Big night tonight. I know it's a Wednesday night. Congratulations to all the winners of the Geelong Business Awards, and they tell me that there was a lot of fishermen watching and it rated really well, that show last night. But anyway, welcome Adam. 6:30 Wednesday afternoon, different time slot.
It feels a bit strange, felt a bit strange driving into the city.
Into the city, yeah.
4 o'clock or 4:30.
Cracking day.
5:30 start. But Dave, it's exciting times.
Yeah.
2 more sleeps and I can get a haircut.
Yeah. 2 more sleeps, you don't have to worry about how long you go fishing for either. So, and a very big welcome to Niki Duckstein once again.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to be back.
Hey, how good was the weather?
It's
did
great weather.
Did we get a taste of spring / almost summer today?
I hope so. I mean, the weather's going to be a bit poor tomorrow, but generally speaking, yeah, today was an absolute stellar day if you could get out. So
yeah. Well, we are only 2 more sleeps until you can get out, and there's no time limit to go fishing. There's no curfew, so you can fish through the night if you like, and there's no distance, so
That's
you can
right.
within Metro Melbourne. So
yeah.
you can go you can go Western Port Phillip. A lot of people are asking once you're on the water. So, for instance, if you launch at Stony Point, can you go over to Cows and fish? Well, of course you can. Once you're on the water, as long as you don't land in regional Victoria, you can fish wherever you want on the water.
Yeah, well, that would be almost impossible to police. I mean, where does regional start on the water? But I would be suggesting people do that because, Dave, we'll see in Catch of the Week shortly, the snapper are coming in thick. There's barrel tuna out the front. What a time to open up.
I know.
What a time.
I know.
They knew it was locked down.
And I mean, the tuna, we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's just remarkable. The fisheries that we have got in Victoria, compared to like we talked about Tasmania last week. Some big things to talk about tonight too. Land-based fishing, it just keeps getting closed, and another pier closed last week. It's killing me, I tell you. As quick as the Victorian Fisheries Authority open up access, it gets closed down by another arm of government. It's just not good enough. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. Going to talk about WRF tonight too, Niki. Let's get an update on where that's at. I know one of the new WRF leaders is in Catch of the Week tonight. It's all good. All right, might be that time. Folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
And I should just mention before Catch of the Week starts, it's our 7th birthday.
Happy birthday, team.
How have we not been kicked off?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, 7 years. And
someone hasn't been paying attention.
I know. Anyway, we promise about like once a year we're going to leave the microphones on during the ad breaks too.
It's our most popular segment, Dave.
We've done that, so you can tick that off.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, we're doing well. 7 years we've been going, and 2 antenna awards down. And
not a bad
going all right. So, all right, Catch of the Week. We just mentioned barrel tuna. They've turned up outside of Port Phillip A Heads in a remarkable manner, and also a remarkable size. Let's have a look at the first one. Stephen Luke, barrel tuna just outside the rip. Have a look at the size of that.
This blows me away, this fishery, and how it's just seems to have turned on overnight. And a fish of 100 kilos, Dave, is a small one.
Yeah.
It's
I know someone that was out there, and they said at the bite time late Sunday afternoon there was 30 boats hooked up to barrel tuna.
See, that's
now, not everyone land them, and a lot of people don't know how to land them, but 30 boats was unbelievable. Let's have a look at this one. Pat and Chris, another barrel tuna outside. That is a monster.
That is
great
massive.
photo too, that one.
That's every bit of 140 kilos.
What an incredible photo too. That's unreal.
Excuse me. The next one, the next one actually got weighed, 141.5 kilos. Again, just outside the rip, a little bit to the right. down towards Barwon Heads. Good fish, aren't they?
Yeah, beautiful.
You'd fit a human inside that fish.
It's incredible, and I know people go down to Portland when they're on the run and that sort of stuff, but to have these where you can launch in metropolitan Melbourne, and get out and catch tuna like that. That's world class.
Well, and it's not like they're 100 mile offshore.
No.
No, and they're
just
not
outside
small
the heads.
tuna, they're barrels.
yeah.
They're just
It's actually
outside the
incredible.
heads.
One more. We got the last one, did we? Yep. Tony, let's have a look at Tony's fish. Tony Brogner out with Richie Abella.
That's another crazy big fish.
That is a big fish, isn't it? I get a sore back looking at that photo. Like, I don't know.
I can feel that.
You know what I'm doing the first day of we're out on Friday?
Snapper fishing?
No.
Going for rock platter.
No. I'm going there, I can tell you. All right, it is snapper season.
Snapper season, believe it or not.
This is going to be the problem, is everyone's going, I've got to get ready for snapper season. And then what do when you got those tuna out the front?
Pull out the tuna gear.
Yeah, absolutely. People were buying pilchards this week, like boxes of pilchards for tuna burley, not for snapper fishing. It's crazy. Let's have a look at this one. One of the worth leaders, Amanda Keeler. It was 7.1 kilo caught at the Corals.
That's
How
a
good's
great
that, Niki?
That's awesome, yeah. We've actually got her on our Snapper Talk coming up. So,
Have you really?
Yep. She's one of the hosts. So
Tell us a bit more about the Snapper Talk later on.
Yep.
Once we get through all this. Another one from the Corals. Have a look at this one. Xavier Faraday. Lovely snapper. Well done, young man. That's a cracking fish.
I love snapper.
Yeah. Gee, there's some good ones around too. I know we've seen a lot of land-based as well, but they're starting to get caught out in the bays, and it's just fantastic. Now, from a young fella to an old fella, have a look at this. Captain Steve Johnson, Ace Fishing Charters. That's a lovely fish.
It is a great
5
fish.
kilos. That's good in anyone's books.
really?
Well done, Steve. And it's hard for the charter guys. I mean, the good thing is though, the charter guys all start up again this Friday. So if you want to get out and catch a snapper like that in Western Port, there's none other than anyone that's better than Steve Johnson. He's been around
book early.
He's been chartering for 80 something years.
no.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well into his 90s, I think. You're going to kill me for that. But anyway, he's been fishing that long, Niki. His depth sound is still in feet. He can't change it.
It's his
Doesn't have
trademark.
that mode.
He doesn't know. He turned into meters, he wouldn't know where to go in Western Port. So there you go. How out of season is this? Have a look at this. Carl Wilkinson. I mean, Lang Lang's the place to catch it, but an elephant shark.
Wow. Is it early or late, Dave?
I think it's both.
It's lost, that's for sure.
I don't know what it's doing in
These
Western
are
Port, but
unique
anyway.
looking fish, aren't they?
They are. It's years since I caught one of them.
Yeah, same.
Years. You ever caught one, Niki?
I haven't. We've had a few members get them at Queenscliff, actually, strangely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, not
Just
myself.
good to look at. No,
Very
good to
interesting,
eat.
yeah.
They're very interesting fish. So, all right, let's head over to Port Phillip Bay now, because I tell you what, Port Phillip's been just as good. Darren Thomas, have a look at this one. A lovely snapper off Mornington. I mean, that's a cracking fish.
cracking.
6 or 7 kilo, you'd
Yeah.
say, easy there.
Really good fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good job, Daz.
good looking fish. Like I think we said last week, you're not allowed to catch a snapper in South Australia right now. And we've got these on our doorstep. How good's this? Have a look at this one. Here we go off the Mornington Rocks.
This is
Rob
exciting.
Heels, 5.5 kilo.
An
Great colour.
amazing start to the season off the rocks.
Yeah.
Amazing. The peninsula's
Isn't that a
just
good
been
looking
juicy.
coloured fish too? Like they're just fresh, they're healthy.
And good effort landing that size fish off the rocks there. That's not easy.
I know.
That's not easy.
Going to talk about rock fishing later on in the program too. A few changes there, particularly in the surf. So, and it wouldn't be the same. And sorry, before we go to this photo, a big shout out to Marilyn Dowling, who's one of our biggest fans on Facebook.
Fangirl, yeah.
She's so proud of her son, who should be very proud of this program. Let's have a look at this. Stonker trout, Andrew Mostert. A lovely stonker, 4.64 kilos
That's
that
a
one
massive
weighed.
fish.
Lilliput Lane Lake in Pakenham, right?
Never heard of it.
I tell you, 5-6 years ago, you went to Pakenham, you wouldn't be trout fishing. That's the last thing you'd be doing in Pakenham.
Yeah, you've been walking in a cow.
Now you can go to Pakenham and catch stonker trout, and Marilyn should be so proud of Travis, I tell you. So good. If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
And coming up very shortly, fisheries news, and it's not all good. Parks Victoria has closed another pier. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing, and today's the day you're gonna wear the line. 'Cause every day's a good day. Stop wishing. Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away. Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
Alrighty, bit of bad news, but let's start with this one because this is probably badder. Than the bad news. Right?
Bad news.
It's the headline is Parks is in no hurry to fix the jetty. Now this is the 1 year anniversary this week of Parks closing Fisherman's Jetty at Mornington, and a boat owner wants Parks Victoria to replace or repair the timber jetty inside Mornington Harbour that it closed a year ago. I'll just call him Paul from Mount Eliza. Says Parks should increase annual mooring fees and use the extra money to maintain the jetty. What Paul's done is he's asked Parks to provide financial details of all its piers and jetties to determine what income they generate and what fees and charges are needed to cover costs. And I think that's sensible. He's asked the question.
Yep.
It's likely that little or none of the fees have been reinvested back into the Fisherman's Jetty maintenance program in the past 10 years, which may have prolonged its lifespan and ongoing serviceability. Paul has also written to the Fishing and Boating Minister, Melissa Horne, and sent off a Freedom of Information request to Parks Vic for all income and expenses relating to the jetty over the past 10 years. I bet you they don't supply it. Oh, well, here we go. Parks replied, it says here. This is in a local paper down at Mornington. Parks replied that there is no revenue from the jetty and they don't separate expenses for the 40-something piers they manage. He said, this is Paul. He says, I find it outstanding that they have no charter of accounts detailing the revenue and expenses for each pier. It's a failure in basic accounting principles and may relate to their inability to maintain the piers efficiently. This is what the regional director Parks said. His name's Graham. Parks, this is the waffle. When like you've got a pier that's shut down, right? A pier that is shut down for 1 year. And this is what Parks come out with, waffle. Graham says, Parks Victoria recognise the economic and social benefits of Fisherman's Jetty, but that ensuring public safety is our priority. The jetty will remain closed to all, including fishers and boaters, except about 6 berth holders, while we continue to prioritise the repair and renewal of local port assets for all Victorians to enjoy. How can you enjoy it when it's closed? We continue to work with the existing 6 berth holders to facilitate managed safe access where possible. That's just bloody waffle, isn't it? Like that is Parks Victoria waffle. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Now, let's go on to the next story.
The other bad news.
This is the bad news. Right. The headline is Fears for Piers Future. Guess what? They closed another one. It was actually a week and a half ago.
Which one's this one?
This is out of the local paper. The Dramana community is devastated by the closing off of the pier amid concerns that the lack of a response from Parks Victoria means its future is in doubt. The Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning, which is DELP, has fenced off the last 40 metres of the concrete structure because erosion underneath has made it unsafe. The lower landing is still in good condition and is open for use. Parks Victoria last year engaged the community in a planning for the future at Dramana. I'll start again. Parks Victoria last year engaged the community in a planning for the future at Dramana Pier project and a report that detailed options for its redevelopment. However, listen to this. However, the report noted that there was no current commitment from Parks Victoria to replace the pier. But they've done a study on what they should do. The local council said it's about time Parks took action to save the Dramana Pier, and the state government committed to redeveloping and replacing the pier with a preferred option and a construction timeline. Well, they're not going to do that because all they do is sit in their office and plan stuff. They don't actually do anything.
No.
Parks Victoria.
Where does the money go? Like in regard to, say, number one, where does the people using the berths pay their annual fees or whatever it is? where does it
No one
it
knows.
go?
No one knows. That's what we tried to fix, lobbying the government last election for boat ramps, because they'd neglected them for 40 years, 50 years. We wanted the money from boat rego, boat licence to go into boat ramps. Looks like we're going to do the same for piers. This is some of the community's comments, because there was a whole lot of options on this study that's never going to eventuate because it's got no money, and they don't care about Dramana. But it says, keep as is, Dramana is so beautiful. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The pier is the charm of Dramana. Now, I can remember as a kid, like a little kid, we used to have a holiday house down at Blairgowrie, and you'd go down on your way, stop off at Dramana at the fish and chip shop, go and eat it on the pier. Like, and that would have been the 70s, I reckon. It's just, don't touch the pier. We're a little village. Keep it like that. I believe minimal funds should be expended to upgrade and maintain the existing pier as per option 1. The pier currently allows local residents and visitors to enjoy walking, fishing, swimming along and around the pier. And another person says, keep the history of this beautiful pier. Well, the history has been fenced off, and it's just not good enough. This state government keeps closing access, and it's just not good enough.
They shouldn't be allowed to close anything without a detailed report on what's wrong with it and how to actually fix it, because that's all fine and dandy to say erosion underneath is saying that it's not safe, but why is it not safe? Like because a little bit of sand got moved, or how bad is it? Then alongside that, a plan on how it can be fixed. Because it's just, they could just be closing them for fun.
How about some accountability of actually maintaining the piers? For starters.
But it's interesting, the community just want it the same. They're not asking for that much.
No, just keep it the same.
Yeah, keep it the same.
Yeah. All right, this one's a good one. Let's debate this too, by the way. Headline is, have your say on making rock fishing safer. Rock fishing is an increasingly popular pastime and a great way to enjoy the great outdoors, but it can also be dangerous, for which new safety measures are being considered at selected locations. Tragically, several rock fishers have died after being swept off the rocks. The Victorian Fisheries Authority is now seeking feedback on a proposal to require fishers to wear life jackets, make it mandatory to wear life jackets when fishing at certain high-risk locations during a 2-year trial. Travis Dowling, the son of Marilyn Dowling, who's their #1 fan, said the evidence was irrefutable that wearing a life jacket substantially reduces the risk of drowning in the unfortunate event that a rock fisher ends up in the water. Mandating the wearing of life jackets may be necessary to keep more people safe and avoid the preventable loss of life. The proposal is to require fishers wear a life jacket when fishing at 9 dangerous locations, and I think we've got a list of those 9 up on the screen. Next. Yep, there we go. So there's the 9 locations, and Punch Bowl, obviously down this San Remo, pretty dangerous. Cape Shank, you can see them all there on your list. So it's not for every place where you go rock fishing. So Mornington Rocks, for instance, it's okay. But where you get those big swells that just roll in, you don't know about them. If you want to have your say, there's the email address down the bottom of your screen. Have your say at vfa.vic.gov.au. Niki, good or bad idea?
Well, it's an interesting one, because once you're in the water, if you do inflate it, are you less likely to, I don't know, get help or get to the next rock? I'm not sure. We've kind of discussed it at club level, and they're talking about New South Wales. Apparently they put rings in that you could attach to.
Yep.
So maybe it could be used in conjunction with something else.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's better than nothing at the minute. There's plenty of deaths.
I don't think the option adds. Love your opinion on it too. I don't think the option is to do nothing, because people keep dying. And you know, you go fishing to have fun. You don't go fishing to die. And unfortunately, people are dying.
Yeah, I think we probably need some clarity around what class of PFD you need to wear. Like, will say a PFD2 jacket similar to like a jet ski jacket or something like that, whether that's going to cut it? Because
I reckon it'll be PFD1.
And yeah, Niki, it was a great point you make, and I didn't take it into consideration. My initial thought was it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. In the water, you want a life jacket.
But what is how do you research it really? Or what if they're already in, are they getting knocked out more often than not, where they can't use a life jacket? Or are they getting swept into areas out of their control where they can't get out because of a life jacket? I never thought of it that way.
I'd rather have a life jacket on so my head's above water.
I'm with you. 100% I'm with you. But it's
the best solution is to not even get in the water in the first place, I guess.
But we know that people are.
So
the only way to stop that is to ban fishing at those spots, and that's not what Victorian government does.
Listen, I think 100% still, I think the life jacket thing makes makes sense.
Yeah.
But it can be a funny thing because everyone thinks, just because I can swim, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But it's not when you're dealing with a coastline of jagged rock and
and that's why they call it an accident, because it's not planned to happen.
It
And next
might
minute you
even-
end up in the drink.
It might even make people think twice. Oh, I do need to wear a life jacket. Maybe I need to be a bit more cautious going to this spot.
Yeah. Have your say at vfa.vic.gov.au. There you go. Email them and just let them know what you think. All right, last one. Have a look at this. Fiberglass boat seized for illegal fishing is the headline. Fisheries officers have seized a fiberglass boat worth more than $40,000 from a Leopold man for allegedly taking fish from Port Phillip Bay and selling them to retail outlets over many months. So this isn't just a once-off. Director of Enforcement and Education Ian Park said Operation Maple targeted the sale of recreational caught fish, which is illegal. Only licensed commercial fishers are authorised to sell their catch. The man allegedly caught King George whiting and calamari on many occasions around Queenscliff, always abiding by the daily catch limits to avoid detection. However, subsequent surveillance and investigations by fisheries officers revealed he was allegedly selling the fish to several retail outlets, including restaurants and takeaway food shops. Fisheries officers seized the man's boat, fish, I think we got a photo of the boat too, summer cash, mobile phone, fishing equipment used in the alleged offending. A retention order was also placed on his car, given it was allegedly used to deliver the fish for sale. That's not a bad boat.
Yeah, set up.
The man will face the Geelong Magistrates Court in coming months on numerous charges. Recreational fishers are reminded that selling fish they have caught is illegal, and you're going to lose your boat.
Lose your gear.
So there you go.
Do the shops buying it get in trouble as well?
They do. Only $900 fine on the spot. I mean, they might get other charges, but
Yeah.
Maybe they need a tougher penalty too.
Yeah, shouldn't be doing it. They'd know they're not
They
buying
know,
it off a proper commercial. So, coming up next, product of the week, and Cara heads into the kitchen to cook up a storm. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Okay, a very fitting product of the week this week. We've been talking about barrel tuna just outside Port Phillip Heads, and we're going to look at a new game rod on the market that's kind of filled a little bit of a gap in the ranges that we've seen over the last few years. And this is of course the new Speedmaster game rods, which you can see on your screen right now. Always a little bit awkward to hold them up in studio, so check them out and I'll quickly run through the specs. These are brand new. We've seen a little bit of a change in game fishing where guided rods seem to be finding their place
rather than fully rolling.
Yeah.
And it's no different here. So
Why is that?
Well, maintenance is a huge issue with rollers, and I think unless you're dealing with excessively big fish, and we're talking extended fights, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours plus, friction does become quite a big issue. But there's been such a jump in technology in guides with heat dissipating rings, as what's on these rods here. Braid obviously entering the market too, which means fish are getting knocked over quicker. It cuts down on maintenance, but also improves performance too. So the Speedmaster range of game rods include a carbon blended blank. So that basically gives you the ultimate performance, but also you keep durability, because obviously that's a huge thing. Anyone who's game fished knows as soon as 1 or 2 rods goes off, it's basically get the others out of the water as quick as you can, and so you can't really be finessed with them. So that eliminates any form of damage through just, I guess, standard game fishing use. Now, Fuji silicon carbide guides, that means they're braid ready. You can run braid over these guides forever, and the heat doesn't build up in the ring of the guide, which can cause line burn over time. Fuji roller tips with a oversized roller on the 37 kilo model. So for those fishing 37 or 60 kilo top shot in mono, it's going to run through the roller, no worries.
Yep.
I think For this price point of rod, you don't see this feature a lot, and it's the detachable butt. You can actually screw that butt off and put a bent butt on it if you want to later on, and which makes the rod a little bit more versatile. You don't have to buy 2 rods for the same application, so that's quite a handy little feature. Gimbal, as always, as a game fishing rod's going to have, but the Speedmaster game rods fills a little bit of a hole. It is a high-end rod.
Let's look at one.
They look really nice.
They look nice, don't
and
they?
now we are seeing a little bit of an influx too of silver game reels through multiple different brands. So in order, still keeping that black and gold cosmetic where you're still going to match your big gold game reels, they're running the anodised silver butts as well as those chromed out guides, which also suit the silver game reels. Again, I mean, the looks do mean something. We all say they don't. It's all about performance, but we'd be lying. They look great, they perform great, they're durable, they're tough, low maintenance with high performance, and I think these are going to slot in nicely as braid continues to take over the game fishing market.
What other rods are in the range?
Really interesting rods. So your standard 15, 24 and 37 kilo stand-up game rods. They also have a deep drop rod, which is also getting massively popular with the beefiest swivel tip I've ever seen. It's huge. It's awesome. And they also have a land-based game rod, which is another fishery that is really kicking goals quickly in Victoria, down in Gippsland. And it's always been a big thing up on the south coast of New South Wales into Queensland off the rocks there. So land-based game is the first one seen for a little while, and they slot in nicely to the range.
One of the most popular things that is being sold in the shops, I'm not saying everybody's getting one, is electric reels though.
It is.
With a deep drop rod. I mean, it's a good combo.
And what makes a deep drop? Deep drop rod, a little bit different. They're a little bit shorter, big swivel tip, so you don't get line rubbing and jumping out of rollers, and also an extended bent butt. So it is longer than a standard bent butt game rod, just to keep it away from the gunnel because you're fishing vertical. But Speedmaster game, check it out.
That's good. Hey Nikki, how's Worth going?
We're going pretty well actually. It's all happening at Worth. We've launched our Instagram page actually only 2 weeks ago.
Woohoo.
So if you want to follow us, it's Worth Network. We're up to over 3,000 members. So that's on the Facebook page. So if you're interested,
you mentioned earlier on you got a snapper night coming up.
We do. So we're doing. They're called Worfinars. So they're like a webinar. A bit of a catchy name, but we've got a snapper talk happening, and Amanda's one of our guest hosts for the night. So we're talking snapper this month. So right in season.
So is that actually broadcast on your Worth Facebook page?
Yeah, so that girls register and they'll get a Zoom link and we'll do it via
so it's on Zoom? Okay,
it's on Zoom. Everything virtual for the minute, but hopefully next year we'll start to get to the more physical meetups, so to speak.
What was the last one that you did
I think we did rods and lines, which is an interesting one. So we had Karen Rees, who you'd know. She kind of gave her Trally's kind of experience on all the lines to use. We had Marion, one of the fly fishing girls, give a talk on fly lines. So plenty of them coming up.
Good. Talking about Worth leaders, Cara Cummings, have a look at this. She's going to the kitchen now and cooking up a storm. Let's have a look.
This week's recipe excites me as we are baking today. The weather is warming up, which makes it perfect for picnics. These delicious savoury muffins are going to be perfect for your next fishing trip. This is a great recipe because it's literally everything into the one bowl, mix it up and into the oven. So we're going to start with 2 cups of self-raising flour, 2 tablespoons of grated parmesan, 1 cup of milk, half a cup of canola or vegetable oil, half a cup of semi-dried tomato pesto, which is going to add a really lovely flavour and colour to these muffins, 2 eggs, and then we're going to prep our salmon to go in there. I'm using smoked salmon today, and we're just going to slice it into strips, and then we can pop that straight in with the other ingredients. I also have an extra tablespoon of parmesan, and we will sprinkle these on top before our muffins go into the oven. I will reserve 1 piece of our salmon that we can use to garnish. Now, into our bowl, and with a good old wooden spoon, we're going to mix it all through. The important thing with muffins is not to over-mix. If we over-mix, they're not going to rise and be beautiful and fluffy inside. So we just want our ingredients bound together. I've evenly divided our mix over 8 muffin tins. We will pop these into a preheated oven of 180 degrees. Before we do, we'll sprinkle our remaining parmesan over the top. These muffins have been in for 25 minutes. They smell and look absolutely delicious. Muffins are at room temperature, so to garnish them, a nice dollop of creme fraiche, or you could use cream cheese, and a little bit of that smoked salmon that we reserved from earlier. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Perfect for a picnic or entertaining.
Now it's 5 minutes past 7 and I am starving
I wanna
because I
try
don't have
that.
dinner.
Send us a couple.
How good was that?
Do you reckon Cara would cater for the Christmas breakup this year?
Oh, I hope so.
She would.
Do you think every time she can just crack an egg with one hand?
Oh yeah, I reckon she
100%.
could. Easily.
Really?
100%.
Eyes closed. She'd reckon
I'm
she'd go
backing
2
her.
at once. Just
How would you go? About as good as eating with chopsticks?
Oh, mate, there'd be more eggshell in there than egg.
All right, coming up next, Kramer's Mailbag. Plenty more to come on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Kramer. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And a little bit of funny mailbag this week. Well, after last week's episode. Anyway, and it was the new set, the start of the new set. Stefan writes to us, great new set, sounds like you're in the back cave. But one well, that's what it says. But one thing I noticed, it was hard to see your new date item, so we know when you do replays later. The only time I spotted it was when the camera was on Kramer and I could only see the first few digits.
Sorted.
This cost me a fortune. I learned how to do online shopping, by the way, to buy this. I don't know where I bought it from, but it was online shopping. So there you go. Is that right, Dave?
You can see the 20,
Yeah.
you just can't see what month
Yep,
or
she's
what.
right.
Wednesday, the 20th of
That
October.
was not last year.
But right.
The 20th of something.
There you go. And, oh, no, what? There you go. Now you can.
Sorted.
Now you can tell.
You can see it. Done.
All right, John writes. He writes this. Well, hang on. Another 100 people wrote, but I just picked John's out. Can you please leave the microphones on during the ad breaks every week? It's the best part of the show.
It's the most popular segment, Dave.
Oh dear. I don't know. Look, on the it won't happen again for at least another year. But last week on the Facebook feed, because it was coming out of a different computer, the microphones are left on, and well done to you, Adam Ring. You only dropped the F-bomb 3 times.
Oh, well, normally I can blame Charlie.
And Nikki, you behaved yourself.
I was fine.
Yeah, lift your game.
I'm surprised.
Lift your game.
We didn't talk about anyone.
Nah.
It was just the F-bomb 3 times.
Yeah, well, you know.
Anyway, on you, John. Thanks for that encouraging prompt to keep them on. We're not going to do that. I don't know if you saw this one, Graham. Is Kramer wearing a wig?
I love that one. We're still not sure.
Are we allowed to have a haircut on Friday?
Yeah, 2 more sleeves.
Yeah.
Yep. Rocco at Lilydale, I tell you what, here I come. Old Rocco. I'll get down there and get a haircut instead of getting it done at home. Anne-Marie writes, are you guys aware that Delp has closed the Dramana pier? Now, we covered that. We do, Anne-Marie, and Anne-Marie's quite upset with that the Dramana pier's been, as a lot of people are. I mean, it's an iconic, if you didn't see earlier on in the program, iconic. It's different than the others. It's a concrete deck. But it's just iconic, and people get out there, fish and chips, go for a walk. A late afternoon is absolutely beautiful because you've got you're actually looking out under the west of the sun virtually from Dramana, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And Steve writes in, I heard on the grapevine they are going to close Sorrento boat ramp and dredge. They have had all winter to dredge. And then, I don't know, he's written FFS after that. I don't know what that means, but...
I know exactly what it means.
But we're not in ad break. They've turned our microphones on.
Leave the microphones on? Oh, yeah.
Picked it up.
So they're saying that the local council, or Steve's saying, the local council is going to close Sorrento boat ramp to dredge around it. But they've had all winter. Like let's just leave it till November.
Yeah. Friday.
Let's just wait till the barrels.
Yeah, once the barrels.
The barrels are here. We've got the best. I mean, the federal government said there was no barrel tuna. Well, in fact, they said there was no tuna outside the heads. They all get to Apollo Bay and swim back. That was their study anyway. But I guess that's maybe the council have read that report.
Change their mind.
Yeah, November. Let's close it for dredging. Anyway, unbelievable. And old mate David Glennie has written in and just let us know how good is this news, right? Because I think we mentioned a few weeks ago that the Western Port Angling Club's whiting challenge isn't on next year. But look at what is on this year. In COVID, it's going to be a COVID-safe competition, the Peninsula Snapper Challenge. It's on. There's 9 days of fishing. Western Port and Port Phillip starts Saturday, November 20th and goes right through till Sunday, the 28th. The longest snapper caught in the open, kayak and junior divisions will be declared our champion anglers. Enter your fish with a smartphone photo of your snapper on a brag mat. Now, you don't know what brag mats, so no cheating, getting photos now. There's $20,000 in trophies and prizes. It's cost $50 for the open and kayak section. Should be $100 for kayaks, I reckon. Sure. And $10 for juniors. Entries will open this Saturday, 23rd of October. You're hearing it first on Talking Fishing. You can enter via the Facebook page or peninsulaSnapperChallenge.com. How good is that the comp's still on?
Yeah, that's great news.
Yeah.
Kayaks should be free.
They should not.
Free.
Charge them
what
double.
If their prize is more
for using up good boating water.
Good boating water.
In fact, they should charge kayaks a water tax. Might get onto.
Maybe they can pay for the pier if they do.
Might get onto this bloke on the beers and say, hey, what about a water tax for kayak users? That might be a good thing for the next election.
Don't be a hater because we'll still be able to use the Sorrento ramp.
Oh, yeah. That's not good. No, but good on David Glennie and the crew that run the Peninsula Snapper Challenge.
Effort. Huge effort.
All COVID safe. There's no presentation. It's all done, via social media and all that sort of stuff.
Huge effort.
Yeah. Like you're part of the Preston and Northcote Angling Club.
Yes.
Have you got any comps organised now?
We don't at the minute. We don't. Yeah. We haven't looked at running them virtually, but it might be something we do. We'll wait to see what the regulations change over the next couple of weeks and take it from there. But great idea and all credit to them. Yeah. Coming up with it.
If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
I meant to mention before, Niki, too, if people want to join the WRF network, which is only open to females.
Correct, yep.
How do they do that?
So all they need to do is go onto Facebook and search Women in Rec Fishing. You'll see our little teal logo and click on that and you'll become a member and you can share and learn and ask questions. Yep. So feel free to. We'd love more members.
Now, no one can see that page because it's a private page.
It's private,
But your Instagram's
for everyone.
People can see it.
So we've deliberately done it. We want the community to be involved. If you want to get involved with WRF, we'd love to have you on there. So we've deliberately done that for that reason. So
that is so good. It's good. So easy to sign up. I know you've been around. It must be 5 years now.
No, it's only 4. So we got our
anniversary.
Only 4? Yeah, I know. We thought that too, but no, it's only
5.
4 coming up in March. So International Women's Day is the birthday.
There you go. Jarla Pulford would have been around to launch all this, I reckon. And how good's that?
Yeah.
That's 4 years and more than 3,000 people.
Yeah, so it's we've come a long way, and we're really proud of that. So
yeah. Something that's I'm disappointed in this, but it is the circumstances that we live in, is that this weekend would have been Mates Day on the Bay. The Future Fish Foundation's gala event. Yeah, it's our main event, and where we take out a couple of hundred people with disabilities. It's the second year in a row that it hasn't been held, and we're just dying to run that event because it is the 21st anniversary that will now be held, looks like, on the 24th year. So, but Mates Day on the Bay would have been this weekend, and I always gauge Mates Day. There's always some snapper caught. Guys like Jason Turner, Matthew Hunt last time took his dad Rex out.
You always get hammered with
always
weather
get
on
snapper.
Mates Day.
Oh, you always get hammered with
weather.
We've only ever had to cancel it once in 21 years, and it was horrendous weather, and we just put it off a week, and it was all good. But I kind of go, it's the start of snapping. I know look, people say, Melbourne Cup weekend's the start of snapper, but Mates Day we'd always get some snapper. You were always hoping the water temperature would turn up a little bit warmer, but that would have been on this weekend. Of course, under the circumstance, you can't have that many people even at an outdoor gathering, let alone in a marquee and fenced off area. So, but we will return next year, and hopefully Trevor and Lynette will be a big part of it as well. I know they're not down at Launching Way anymore, but Trevor and Lynette, we really want them to be part of that. And the Future Fish Foundation will be bringing Mates Day back, and so all those boat owners out there that have been participating in the past. I know Ashley watches this program. He's been going for 25 years, even though it's only been running for 21. He tells me. But actually, he'll be loving it, and he'll be dying, because the thing is, this is almost the highlight of some of our guests' calendar year. It's the highlight. They get to go on a boat, they get to catch a snapper or a flathead or a salmon or whatever.
Even just going on a boat.
Even just going for a joyride on a boat is amazing.
Exactly. So there you go. The promise is Future Fish Foundation Mates Day on the Bay will be back in 2022. We can't go back from where we are now, can we? So anyway. All right, next up, the all-important hotspots and plenty more on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
No, it's not time for kingfish. We were talking about it during the break.
Nearly.
Wish it was. I don't know what the water temperature is. Haven't been out for a little bit. But anyway, we'll know next week. Hotspots, the all-important hotspots. If you are in Corio Bay and Geelong area, which is just a fantastic fishery, it's going to boom. If it's not already. I mean, nets are totally gone there. There's actually still netting in Port Phillip Bay. There's about, I think, 8 or 9 people still left, and they're not allowed in Corio Bay, but they're allowed in Port Phillip Bay proper. But Corio Bay is on fire. Point Wilson snapper that's our number 1 hotspot there. Great little spot, easy access, out of the wind on the northerlies and the southerlies, and it's a beautiful little spot, and some good snapper coming from Point Wilson at the moment.
So would that be Geelong or that Corio Bay area's prime snapper spot? I know nothing about that area.
No, there's a few. It's spread out. It's spread out. The whole Geelong arm and that. It's all good over there. Right, next one. This is good news. The whiting through winter.
It's not whiting season, Dave.
I know, but the whiting through winter were stuck at Portsea for so long. Then they moved to Blairgowrie, and they didn't move anywhere else. Well, guess what? They're at Rosebud now. Let's have a look at this. Rosebud King George whiting. Get on it.
Nice.
Weed beds, 6 metres of water. That's all you need. The Rosebud whiting are on.
I could catch them in a kayak, Dave.
You could. You could almost get out in a kayak. All right, let's head over to Western Port now, and snapper are being caught everywhere, as you saw from Catch of the Week. But Boucher Channel, right up the top end, is fishing really, really well for snapper at the moment. Bit warmer water up that end. When you get those channels right up near Tooradin or Warneet, the water's just a little bit warmer, comes off the flats, and some good fish being caught there. And on virtually the other side of French Island, if you like, for those people that are in regional, although you can get there now, from Hastings and Stony Point, is Elizabeth Bluff, just near Elizabeth Island. Snapper also being caught off there, and some good reports during the week.
Yeah,
from there
great
too.
spot for snapper that doesn't get as much attention as it should.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone who fishes.
No,
in
absolutely.
Giving away their spot.
All right, we could not miss this one. Barwon Heads Barrel Tuna. Get down. I reckon Friday's very, very calm. Well, I think tomorrow is too. I think it gets
midnight,
a bit cloudy.
You think midnight people are going to start going?
Yeah, people won't be able to go tomorrow, but
Taylor Hunt
Friday
will be there.
There'll be more people offshore than in the bay.
There will be a lot of people. Oh, I reckon, who was I talking to today? And they were on Windy or whatever it was, and they said it's 0 knots at somewhere in Western Port. It was
0 knots. That happened once a year.
There is just no wind at all on Friday in some parts of the bay. So it will be very, very busy out there. And early reports from the people that are lucky enough to fish in regional Victoria, Bonnie Doon Golden Perch is the last one. That is going to go off.
It's going to go mental.
I don't know if we talked about it on the TV show. We certainly covered it on 3MP that Lake Eildon has hit the 80% mark.
That's right.
And
Great
growing.
news. Great news.
And Bonnie Doon is just going to go off. Those fish love getting into the shallows, and not the shallows, but 5-6 metres, and there's going to be plenty of water under that Bonnie Doon bridge, I can tell you.
Plenty of yellows too.
There you go. Yeah. Be good to see some pictures. They'll start filtering through as soon as people this Friday. Oh no, you can't get out to the regions until.
No, not regional yet.
Is it the 5th? Or something?
1st
well,
of
it might be the
November.
1st of November now.
80%.
Yeah, 80% double dose.
Whenever 80% is. So get the jab, get us there, and you can get out to regionals.
Bonnie Doon.
Yeah. We're going to quickly talk about bait.
Yeah.
There's some problems, isn't there?
There is some massive problems, which has been a current theme quietly for the last few years, but it's concerning that we're already.
I would have to say that most bait and tackle shops will not have pippies right now. There is a pippy shortage, and you cannot get pippies. If someone's got them, they're old, or they're about $80 a kilo.
Yeah, but Dave, question without notice for you, because I have no idea. Why is there a shortage of pippies? Is it an overfishing thing? Like, is there actually a shortage of pippies, or are they being taken up by the food grade when they're in there?
Well, that is part of the problem, is that there is a demand for food, but there's a couple of other problems in Victoria, let alone interstate. But in Victoria, we've got a few problems. One, the guys that have commercial licences to dig pippies aren't digging for them. Right now, there's a number of reasons for that, whether they can't be bothered, right? But one of the major contributors is our good old friends at Parks Victoria that are closing the piers down have also closed Discovery Bay, which is down near Portland, one of the best places. You know those big pippies we used to get?
The pippies
they are the best pippies, I reckon, in Australia. Parks won't let them in. They're miles from the beach, right, where they have to park their car. They need quad bikes. I think there was one guy carting them in and out by horse at one stage, but Parks keep closing. I think it's in the courts, and I'm not sure where it's at. But there's a resource there. People are licensed to be able to get them, but they can't get to them. So that's the problem in Victoria. In South Australia, the Pippi Co-op, which is a very big, co-op where traditionally all the commercial fishers would bring their pippies and then they sell them. Well, they've bought up the licences. So they now own the licences, and they've got the whole quota tied up for food. So there is nothing coming out of South Australia for bait.
Far out.
So if you want to buy...
Since when did a pippi get so popular to eat?
I know. So,
and my go-to.
It's something I believe Travis Dowling needs to interfere in and make some changes to Victoria, because we've got plenty of coastline that's got pippies.
Yeah.
We're not getting them into the bait market.
Yeah.
And if South Australia's got the, they've got the food market sewn up, well, good on them, because you can't fish for snapper there. Same as Tassie, you can't fish for calamari. You can go and stuff your own fisheries. Yeah. We've got good fisheries, we just need them open. And anyway, that's one for Travis. We're going to try and get him in the studio soon, next couple of weeks, and see if we can get him to give us some info about pippies. The other one is Port Phillip Bay pilchards.
They have been great sized pilchards.
They are great pilchards at the moment, but you know what?
Yeah.
That goes with the netting next year.
That's
more
right.
netting in Port Phillip Bay from April 2022.
Yep.
And the Port Phillip Bay pilchards. So.
Okay.
Where will they come from then?
Well, not South.
Might not be South Australia.
No, one of the problems is the tuna farmers in South Australia buy up all the pilchards to feed the tuna to grow them out to sell them to Japan. So we've got some real issues in the bait industry at the moment.
No, South Australia have got some real issues.
South Australia have got real issues. So, hey, I mentioned 3MP just before. If you want to catch us on Talking Fishing on 3MP, got a little slide there. 6 till 7 on Saturday mornings. We have to get up so early to do that. But the good thing is you can listen on the 3MP app, and when you get out of bed, which is not at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning, as soon as 7 o'clock ticks over, the whole show's up on the podcast and it's available on the 3MP app. So you just need to have the 3MP app and we're on the front page, just hit play and we're on, and we talk more comprehensive fishing reports on that one. Talk to some local blokes, Joe Farr every week, Luke and Netta down a corner inlet, Stevie Johnson, Brett Geddes,
Zach Cross.
Hopefully Zach Cross, his wife's had a baby, I'm not sure, from cross country fishing charters, but anyway, that's all good. If you want some up-to-date real info, get on that Saturday morning. So, and plenty of people have been doing that too, by the way.
It's good.
We can go fishing this Saturday and listen at the same time. So
absolutely, you can.
What a great idea.
You do that. There you go. I'll tell you what, the hour's flown. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. The time is nearly here. Friday, no time limit, no distance restrictions within Melbourne Metro. To everyone watching, get out there and enjoy your freedom. Till we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing. Please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.